I have no fancy camera lighting, so we're working with a nice sunny day today that has blessed my living room with a little bit of afternoon glow. I'm Paige Lubke. I'm the owner and independent operator of my own small business that aims to make interior design more attainable. Since this is the first video going up on my YouTube channel, I figured I should tell you a bit about the core of my business, space planning. What is it and why you might need it for your space. Now, time for step one. What is space planning? Let's talk about it. So you're an interior designer, or you're an interior decorator, or you're a stylist? And the answer is both yes and no to all of the above. What my process actually looks like with space planning is, of course, after meeting my client and figuring out what their space is lacking, what it needs, what do they like about their space, what's working, what's not working. Of course, I'm going to talk to all of my clients about that in a consultation, but the first action item I do is show up on site and physically measure everything. Measure the room dimensions, measure the locations of doors, windows, outlets, plumbing, if it's in a kitchen or bathroom, and then I'm going to measure all of the furniture and all of the physical 3D things that are going to be in this space. Then I can create a scaled 2D model of my client's room, my client's space, and move everything around on paper before my client spends time and energy rearranging their furniture aimlessly and kind of consistently wondering why it doesn't quite feel right. And then as the space planning service provider, that's me, I'll show up for a second and final job site appointment to help my client do all of the small things. So that's what it looks like. That's what it is in essence. Step 2, the benefits of space planning. Because this service isn't involving any major renovations that would require a general contractor, no paint, no crazy amounts of DIYs, obviously this is going to be a lot more affordable than traditional interior design. Space planning saves my clients time. That deliverable I have for my client is a floor plan of here's where it goes. And it really takes that mental work out of the equation for people to figure out the best layout for everything. That's what I am doing, that's what I'm providing, and that's why my clients are getting time back in their day, back in their weeks, back in their months even, depending on how big of a project they're working on. This is renter inclusive, y'all. Now I know there's a lot of DIY content out there that is renter friendly, and I think that's great that we're just seeing even more and more content about how to make changes in a rental apartment that make the space feel unique to you. But I think for the average person, if you're busy, you don't have the time for DIY. You just don't. And so I think what's uniquely renter inclusive about space planning is that if you're a renter and you don't have the capacity for DIY, then space planning is a way to make your space feel homey, make it feel joyful, whatever that means for you, make it feel cozy, whatever the objectives are, especially in a residential space. The essence of what space planning is as a service is even more renter inclusive because it's just getting at the bare bones of design. How can I arrange the things that you already own and love and have in a way that maximizes the space you have and makes you feel the most joy, especially in a rental apartment? Probably the most important benefit to space planning is that the space planning service provider is essentially a second set of eyes for whatever design dilemma you might have. This is especially helpful in a space that you've been in for a long time and things are just kind of stagnant. You don't really like the way things are, but your furniture just ended up where it ended up, your artwork was just put on the wall because you were tired of looking at it on the floor, and maybe you're at the point where you're not really sure how to tweak your space to make it feel right. Maybe you're just sick and tired of looking at the same corner in your room, trying to think of new options and new layouts. Most likely, I'm gonna catch something or think of something or think of an idea that you probably just haven't thought of before. And it could be because you've driven yourself crazy, spending so much time staring at the walls in this room. And that brings me to step number 3, reasons why you need to hire a space planner. If it's driving you crazy that you've tried every combination of furniture you can think of in a space and it still feels wrong in some way, that's when I'd say you should outsource. You should hire a space planner. Now, of course, there's a chance that maybe they're gonna run up against all of the other problems that you've encountered, and maybe they can't come up with a new solution that you haven't already thought of. But at the very least, you're gonna get reassurance of what option for your room is the best possible layout. And that's kind of nice too. Listen, if you love the gallery wall trend, but the thought of hanging up all that artwork yourself overwhelms you, a space planner can do that for you. Or this is great for couples who are blending their design styles. Maybe it's a new space they've just moved into together. Maybe it's a commercial space, and maybe you're a professional photographer and you want to showcase your work and different kinds of work, different aesthetics that you photograph. Or you are in the retail side of things and you just want to display your products and product imaging in a really beautiful, interesting, unique way. All of that, awesome, love it. It's something that a space planner can help you with. If you're walking into a room and you feel like you have to awkwardly shimmy around furniture, or there's a constant like feng shui pain point, right? Where the flow through a space just feels wrong. These are all things that a space planner can look at and help you figure out how to make a space feel less crammed so that it functions in the way that you intend it to function without these like awkward feelings as you move through a space. This is my favorite one, okay? Now I will say, a space planner is not a professional organizer. They're different jobs. So a space planner is not going to be able to make your space feel less visually cluttered if you just have too much clutter. But ideally in this situation, if you've just moved and you're overwhelmed by the thought of, okay, I can unpack the boxes, but then what? Where is everything supposed to go? Hire a space planner. They can come in, get everything put together for you, and that's a huge weight lifted, a huge benefit to you in that time where you're trying to unpack and get settled and find a layout that works best for you and what your needs are. Now that you're familiar with space planning and what the heck that even means, I look forward to you being here. My next video will likely be showing you a before and after reveal of a client's space, so I'm really excited to share that with you. Ideally, I'm going to be posting a new video every month, hopefully on the 1st of the month, so please subscribe if you want to see what I have coming out next. Otherwise, you can find me at Lubke Transformations on TikTok and Instagram. And I just dripped on myself. That's nice.